Hello everyone and welcome to Kerbal Space Program, where last time we successfully landed one of the Heinlein helicopters on Eve, and then we actually managed to get it docked to the target, one of the Hesphiuses that we were trying to rescue, and refueling operations started, but they're going to take ages since we've only got a level 0 engineer. It's really going to take a huge amount of time to get that sorted. But it is there, it does seem to be working. In the meantime, I'm going to launch another Heinlein type helicopter, but I want to make some improvements to it. Mostly that the quad blade setup that we went with last time just really doesn't work. It just makes the Kraken go absolutely crazy on Eve, and so it's almost impossible to control with the blades jumping up and down as much as they do. So I'd like to scale it back, redesign a little bit, make something a little bit more usable. The other problem is the current Heinlein keeps breaking on landing, which is really not ideal, and so I want to make it a little more durable on landing. Okay, so after some faffing around trying different things, I've gone with just cutting this down to 2 different propeller blades. That should work really quite well. Everything should be fully fastened. Now, I can only have 2 large blades here, because that's all that's going to fit inside the fairing, but to make up for some of the lost blade area, I have put in a couple of other smaller ones here. Something's gone a little bit squiffy with this. One of the blades is not attached or anything. Yeah, so I just rebuilt the rotor assembly. Now does seem to be functioning-ish. Yeah, a bit of a rough landing, but nicely, even though we had a rough landing, both the grabber unit and the resource processor stayed intact. The problem was that was still wobbling about like crazy. Let's see if I'm able to auto-strut without breaking it. Seems so, that's with auto-strut on. Everything seems a little bit better. Yeah, I think it's just a thing with the Kerbal physics engine that's not liking propellers, because even with everything strutted and rigidly attached, you can still see there the propellers are bouncing up and down a hell of a lot. And this is with me rebuilding this to make sure that everything is genuinely attached to what it's supposed to be attached to. Still really doesn't seem too happy. But that was a quite smooth landing there, so I think this thing is okay for what we need it to do. Do just need to move the landing gears out the way of the engines, otherwise this can be attached. Otherwise everything's pretty much the same, so I am just going to launch this and I'm going to try and pick up the first Kerbal that we landed on Eve, see if we can bring them back home. The fairing is a little bit bigger just to accommodate the new position of the wheels, but hopefully that will be compensated for by the fact that we do have a little bit of a lighter final stage. So hopefully all will still be good as before. Okay, so we're all good for the launch of the Heinlein Mark II. Let's get to it. The launcher failed. It just started pitching too much in one direction and then flipped over. Rocket is still going fine though, in a way of speaking. Yes, I need to stick to a bit more of a vertical ascent during those early phases then. Oh, good to know. Well, luckily this stage is a helicopter, so I should just be able to soft land it. Don't have a lot of power, so I'm coming in quite quickly. because I was trying a night launch. Oh, I landed a bit hard in the end there. Oh, everything that was auto-strutted before got de-auto-strutted when I took it off and put it back on again. So this thing was flopping about inside that, so when I tried to make the turn, it smashed. It was wibbling, and the wibbling was enough to just throw this entire thing off course. Okay, fine. Good to know. Oh, nothing else to do but give it another go, so here goes. Solid stage burnout, separation. Start pitching over quite aggressively here since we're mostly out the atmosphere. The brakes on the blades are not functioning, so that's not ideal. Yeah, main stage burnout. Decouple. Nuclear engines on. Yay. I'm not sure if that's a gravity assist or a hindrance from the moon, but we are going to escape Kerbal. Oh, I forgot to get rid of the heat shield, so all the fairing, so get rid of that. I am worried about the blades because they're not locking. Oh crap, it put a scientist in this. That is less than ideal. Fuck. Yeah, that's okay. What we're going to do is get this into orbit of Eve, and then we're going to get that mining rig that we've got to come out and collect this scientist. There we go, put us into 100-kilometer intercept of Eve. Yeah, so flipping over to the roof, just taking it off again. Okay, there we go, rendezvous the two vessels. So our stowaway here, Carrie, can go and find her way into the rescue boat. And there we go. She is now in the reef, nice and safe. And she can assist with their research. Still got 500 Delta V. I am planning on rescuing them at the same time I rescue other Kerbals from this crazy endeavour. I have no idea what the rotor blades are going to do or how this is going to go, but screw it, let's give it a go. Clear entering the atmosphere, I'm going to jettison there. Inflate the heat shields. Try and get this thing to point retrograde, belatedly take in the solar panels. Heating effects are already starting, and I've already knocked me off the center line. Oh, this thing really does not want to point in the direction it's supposed to. Oh, but violent rocking seems to have done the job there. Don't think we lost anything. I think all those explosions were the nuclear stage burning up, which surely won't do anything bad to the atmosphere here. Now we just have a 40-kilometer fall. We're getting pretty low. I'm going to try jettisoning the heat shields. Okay, that was a bit rougher than I had intended. That is one heat shield away. There goes the other one. That was a bit smoother. Okay, trying to wrestle this thing around into some form of stability. And even with these things bolted on, these aren't even turned on right now. The physics is going crazy. Okay, 500 meters, turning on the blades. These oscillations are really bad. Oh, oh. What's going on? Okay, physics is going crazy. We're down. Okay. It did not like that. It did not like that one bit, but we are down somehow. Whew, right. Now that we're down and a bit more stable, I can extend solar panels. And I do think this thing would be more stable with ballast, so I'm going to refuel here before making the trip. We've actually managed to land with everything intact for once. Okay, ore count is beginning to tick up, so that is functioning. And there we go. Processing lab. Oh, Jesus. I just time warped and things fell over all over the place. Yeah, the numbers are ever so slowly ticking up. But the problem is this doesn't have any radiators on. I was hoping that the atmosphere would be able to take away some of the heat, but apparently not. Okay, and during all that time, the stage has got a tiny, tiny amount of oxidizer and liquid fuel. This is going to take quite a while. But in theory, those should have the ability to do what they need to do. They just need to be left for even longer. I think what I'm going to do is put in a break there. Next time we're going to come back and we're going to design the actual rescue ship. The ship that's going to get there, get to Eve, pick up all of these people who are hopefully going to make it into orbit, and then take them back to Kerbal. So I hope you do join me for that one. If you have liked this, please do like, comment, subscribe, all really does help. And otherwise, I hope to catch you in the next one. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and everyone else. Cheers!